Hello Treacle Tarts, it is Vlogmas Day 7 and today I was thinking about how much I love this dress. I love the print on this dress. It makes me feel super powerful and gorgeous, and I just find that there's something very energising about this awesome geometric epicness, and it's got Hamza hands on it. These things are actually Hamzas. I didn't realise that till after I purchased it, so that was quite exciting, like, oh, actually I see that they are Hamza hands, so that's really cool. And I was thinking about how much of a witchy dress I think this is, and how many compliments I get on it when I wear it out and things like that. I actually wore it to a gig last night. I wore it to Seagull Panda, so it's actually ready to go in the wash, but I'm putting it on just quickly for the purposes of showing you how epic it is. And it's just a pattern that really attunes with who I think of myself as being, and the kind of clothes that I love to wear, and the fact that I feel like those clothes are representative of me and representative of the energy that I walk around in the world with and the things that I'm really interested in. And I'm quite interested in enclothed cognition. I'm interested in the idea that what you wear affects your level of motivation, it affects how you feel about yourself or the job that you're doing or the social situation that you're walking into. I definitely feel that my vibration and my mindset shifts depending on what I'm wearing. And I find that as I've gotten more intrinsically aware of this understanding, I use it to my advantage. I dress for the job that I'm doing, for the conversation that I'm going to have, for the scenario that I think I'm going to be placed in. If I'm feeling anxious about something, or feeling like I don't know how I'm going to approach something, or I feel like I really need to up the level of power and agency that I'm taking to a situation, whatever it is, I know that I can go to my wardrobe and kind of be a little bit shamanic about the situation and just think, what do I need? What colours do I need? How do I really want to feel when I walk out of the door? You know, what can I wear that will really help me to just step into my power and access it and feel like I own the room and I can do whatever I set out to do? When I was younger, I definitely used to have a big interest in the nature of clothing for ritual and spellcraft, and the idea of dressing to enhance my witchery, to enhance what I was doing in the circle and stuff. Nowadays, I don't really think like that. Nowadays, what I am is more of a power jewellery kind of a woman, you know? So I like the accessories. I like having jewellery that is representative to me of what I'm doing in the circle. I like jewellery to be charged. I like to charge jewellery under the full moon or the super moon. I like to bless jewellery. I like to consecrate jewellery. I find I sometimes come across second-hand or vintage jewellery that I just know is going to be a piece of what my mother would call power jewellery, and I very much adopted that phraseology, that I've adopted that word, power jewellery. I've got power earrings and power necklaces, and I think a lot of the time when people use that term, they're talking about kind of statement pieces, but when I use that term, I'm talking about things that literally change me up, that make me feel different. And there are some bits and pieces that I definitely love to wear in the circle when I'm doing ritual, when I'm doing spellcraft, that give me that feeling, and they are very specifically geared towards empowering me as a witch while I'm doing witchy shizzle. As for the clothing that I wear, for me, it's really important that the clothes are baggy, and that I feel like they've got a luxe vibe to them. So they have to feel a certain texture. So I could be wearing a pair of pyjamas in the circle, but it's got to be the right texture. I've got to feel like it's luxe, it feels nice on my skin. I spend quite a long time in the circle a lot of the time, particularly if it's a Sabbat. So I feel like I need to be able to sit down and chill out cross-legged. Bear in mind I have a herniation at the bottom of my spine, so it's really important for me to just feel as comfy as I can. I've got a lot of cushions and things, and when I sit down cross-legged in the circle for a long time, I just have to feel that sense that I'm comfy and that it's easy for me to move around and manoeuvre myself, and I feel like I need to feel I'm warm enough and that kind of thing. I don't go in for high ceremony kind of garb. Like I said, I really do like a little bit of power jewellery, like some earrings or something like that, or a ring that I've consecrated, that that has intention behind it or intention invested into it. I do wear pentacle pendants and things of that nature, so I will often kind of like tool up in the jewellery department. But as long as what I'm wearing is luxe, I've got quite a lot of kind of tops that aren't skin tight. They're a really nice texture, they're made of nice material, and I can wear them with like a pair of kind of palazzo pants or a pair of leggings, something like that, so that I can just kind of relax. And I really feel like I just get into my witchy vibe then. That's the best time for me. I wouldn't wear a dress like this in the circle because I do all of my work pretty much sitting down cross-legged. And this dress just isn't the one for that. It's I'm sitting cross-legged in it now, and it's kind of tight around my knees, you know. It's very elastic, it's very kind of flexible, but I want to be able to sit cross-legged and really feel no tension between my knees at all, because I'm going to be meditating, I'm going to be doing creative visualizations, I'm going to be throwing cards. So for me, it's just really important that the clothes are loose and luxe, and by that I mean loose fitting and feel good. You know, they feel like the right texture, they feel nice. I have practiced Skyclad, aka naked, because I wanted to know what it was like, and it's such a big thing in paganism, it's such a big thing in certain areas of Wicca, it's a really big deal. And I've heard a lot of people that do practice Skyclad saying that it's a really important feeling to have, because it makes you feel vulnerable, it makes you feel stripped bare of everything that your ego and your persona have chosen to dress you up to go out into the world. And if you practice Skyclad with no clothes, no makeup, no jewellery, no nothing, it's like you're surrendering to that moment, and you're really giving yourself to that moment, and there's a vulnerability in that, and there's a lot of power and potency, of course, in vulnerability. When we lay ourselves bare to experiences and we say, I am ready, I want to be fully immersed in these experiences, then it's like we're really saying that we are completely prepared for these weird and wonderful transpersonal things to happen to us. I just love that. So I practiced Skyclad a few times. And I have also done some shadow work, Skyclad, you know, like mirror work and release work, chanting, that kind of thing. And I must say that there is definitely a very different feeling to it, that is without doubt. And I think it depends what you want out of life, doesn't it, really? I think that for certain forms of shadow work, like if we're doing mirror work or if we're doing inner child work, sometimes the act of doing that naked is definitely meaningful. There's definitely a potency to it. I think it's important to recognise that this isn't a universal experience, and it depends very much how one feels about their body and the associations that they have with the act of being naked and doing pretty much anything. And I think as we evolve through life and as we learn different lessons and go down different avenues in life, our feelings about that change, and that's really important to factor in as well. I would agree that there is a very different set of energies attached to the process of practicing magic or ritual or anything like that naked versus practicing it in any kind of clothing. Obviously, that's why so many people do get naked to do ritual or spellcraft, or to, you know, invoke the goddess or draw down the moon, whatever. It's because it does give you that different energy. It does make you feel like you're surrendering to that moment, and like you are absolutely giving yourself to it raw and real. You're not taking any ego in there, you're not taking any sense of facade in there, and you're completely one with what it is that you're doing, with the deities that you're connecting with, whatever it is, however your practice kind of works. And I definitely feel that. But for me personally, it's not usually the thing that I want to do. I haven't practiced ritual or magic naked for years and years, because it doesn't strike me as something that is necessary for my personal practice. Like I said, I enjoy empowering jewellery. And I like empowering clothing. I'm really interested in the way clothing makes me feel, and I was a style blogger for a really long time before I started writing about tarot and doing videos about magic and stuff. I'm really interested in personal style, and that's never going to go anywhere. That's always going to be a part of my character. I think we all have to make our own decision about why we're wearing any clothes that we're wearing in the circle. What is the point of them? For me, it's just about being comfortable so I can get as much work done as I possibly can in the circle without thinking about what I'm wearing. You know, I just don't want it to be a distraction. I enjoy having those bits and pieces that make me feel empowered or make me feel like I'm switched on and turned up and ready to do something witchy, and that sometimes will come into it with me. Definitely, you know, I like sometimes like the clothes that I'm wearing to feel glamorous, you know, like a long floaty black dress, for example, or just a floaty trousers and a really kind of baggy loose black top that I feel like I can put some jewelry on with, but essentially it's like super comfy clothing. You know, we're basically talking about luxe high-end pajamas type situation. It's not like I want to completely not think about glamour or empowerment or how I feel, but essentially I just want to feel comfy. I just want to feel comfy, and so it will be like leggings and a loose top or whatever, or loose trousers and a loose top. I've got a few loose dresses. It will occur to me sometimes if I come across kind of a really floaty dress that is just like down to the ground that you would just wander about in. It does kind of occur to me, oh, that's good for circle, that kind of thing is good for circle. At the moment, I've just literally bought not that long ago some pyjamas that are, a client saw my pyjamas the other day actually and said, are you wearing a onesie? Because that's kind of what it looks like, but they're just really luxe, really comfy. I wouldn't even say they're pyjamas, they're house clothes, you know what I mean? Like just to walk around the house in. And they just feel so nice. And I've been doing my daily drawers and my meditations and stuff wearing that kind of thing for a long time. It's just, yeah, it's just comfy for me. I definitely think nakedness has its place in my practice. Like I said, I think it's really powerful for certain forms of shadow work, inner child work, release work, mirror work, of course. And I definitely value it for that. But I feel for me, like nakedness doesn't really do anything for me when it comes to ritual and spellcraft and that kind of thing. I think it would probably do more for me if I was petitioning deity, communing with deity, or invoking deity. And if that was a really strong part of my practice, which it's not. What I'm normally doing in the circle is much more to do with empowerment of self through thinking about my personal energy, the power that I'm bringing to it. I'm not saying you're not doing that when you're petitioning deity. I'm sure, you know, everybody has their own feelings about what goes on, and I would never deem to know what somebody else is going through in their practice. But for me personally, I'm not trying really usually to commune with another being. I'm not trying to give myself to another being, to any kind of disembodied intelligence. I'm working with my own power. So for me, it makes much more sense to feel comfortable and to feel empowered. So I'm looking for what would take me down that avenue rather than what would make me feel vulnerable, what would make me feel like I'm giving up something or I'm in an act of surrender. Like I said, I do also think it depends how you feel about your body, what kinds of things you're going through regarding your body, whether or not you feel comfortable naked generally. I'm not necessarily uncomfortable naked, and as I've mentioned on the channel once or twice before, I did used to do photographic and live modelling, nude modelling. I've had a very difficult journey with body weight and body image, and those things definitely do come up from time to time, but it's not, you know, it's not a massive bugbear for me. It's not something that I'm terrified about. It's fine, you know, my naked body doesn't gross me out or make me sad, but I definitely don't think I look the best naked. I'm one of those people that thinks human beings actually in general look banging in clothing. I love clothing, that's just part of my personality, so of course I suppose it would make sense that I would be wearing clothes in the circle. I'm into clothes, what can I say, you know, I like my clothes. So these have been some thoughts about being sky clad, what I wear in the circle, why I wear it in the circle. I'd love to know below what you guys do or don't do, what you wear or don't wear, and much love. Hope you're enjoying Vlogmas, and blessed be.